Welcome everybody to the Offbeat Podcast, a podcast about music and everything in and around it. Once again, my name is Rick, joined here by, I'm going to go to the right this time, Eddie Saturn, back in the building. And over to my left, Xander.
With an X.
With an X. Never forget that shit. But yeah, we were just talking about how so much of the mainstream music worldwide is infiltrated by the Latino community.
Yes.
Did I say that properly? What's the difference between Latino and Hispanic for the people who don't know, Xander?
Wow.
Let's give the folks an education.
Well, you're asking the wrong person, but I'm going to give my point of view.
Well, Xander is Puerto Rican, so he thus is an expert.
Yes. Latino comes from the Latin origin.
Sure.
And I don't know where Hispanic, to be honest, comes from. I think that's a made-up term. Eddie, do you know where Hispanic come from? Shannon?
So
I think it's a made-up term. Latino, I can understand, but Hispanic, I don't know what that is.
So Latino comes from Latin, obviously, just like Romance languages come from Roman, and they're interconnected. Even though French isn't Latino by definition or colloquial, I don't even think by definition. So yeah, anyway, Latino is the reason why I started with that is because Portuguese people are Latino. But if you say that to them, they'll be like, no, and they get mad. Like my brother Tyler, he's part Portuguese, and I've had this debate with him, and it's like in the books, like Latino. Anyway, so that's Latino. Hispanic is from Spain. You know what I mean? So in some ways,
Española.
Puerto Ricans can be Hispanic. Yeah, with the lisp, Española. So
I know the meaning, what it is considered to be Hispanic, but honestly, I don't know where it comes from.
where it comes from.
But what is, I don't know.
We're so uncultured, you guys. No, Eddie, I think you did a great job summarizing that. I'm certainly no expert, but I know enough to know that there's a distinction.
Right.
And I know that some people get offended if you call them Hispanic or Latin or whatever. Yeah, man, it is fascinating to think about though. But yeah, Bad Bunny's coming out, that new movie. I believe it's called Bullet Train with Brad Pitt. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But speaking of movies, haven't talked about movies in a while. To those of you who have not already seen the latest movie, Thor Love and Thunder, right? Thor Love and Thunder, actual title.
Yes.
Spoilers ahead for probably maybe one of the people that listens to us has to be a Marvel fan.
Yes.
At least one.
At least one.
At least one. We have to check that box. So yeah, in the pantheon of Thor movies, I would rate this one like a number 2, maybe even number 3.
Out of 10?
Out of the 4, out of the 4 Thor movies that have existed so far.
Okay. So it's in the bottom rung.
I have mixed opinions. I enjoyed it, but I have mixed opinions. What did you think, Eddie Saturn?
So I'm going to give the out of 10 rating 7 out of 10. It's mid as an impactful Marvel movie. It's fun as a Marvel movie, fun as a standalone. So it's like not terrible, it's fun and on two accounts, but it's very mid. It's not that impactful. Yep. Some of the stuff that was so strong, like going into it, like they had like everything they needed to make a strong film. They're just like, you know what I mean?
Did you hear about all the cuts they made?
Yes, 4-hour movies is what it was.
Wow.
Which I don't know if that's better. I can't say that. And there's an interview with Taika Waititi, and he's like, "Oh no, this is the way it's supposed to be." It's like,
thank you.
Which is I don't agree with him. There's a ton of director's cuts, like Aliens, director's cut, Snyder's cut, that are just great, that people enjoy, and are not just good, but they add dimension to what we watched when it was not the director's cut. So anyway, my point is, I think they shouldn't have had Taika do it, not because he wasn't good, but because they needed to give him more liberty, like the same liberty he got with Thor 3.
Ragnarok?
Yeah. they needed to give him that or more direction, one or the other. And I think they did too much of 50-50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is stifling. It's like, we want you to do whatever you want, but not that. You know, it's like...
Yeah, it is super frustrating when that happens. Like I think I'm with you on that. I feel like it's definitely a product of like an overly produced product. Like there's so much weight behind Thor because he's such a like powerhouse in the MCU, if you will, whatever.
Yeah.
It's so like, oh yeah, the next Thor movie better be good, right? The way that a new Iron Man movie better be good, right?
Right.
But yeah, man, like there was a lot of bits that I really enjoyed. So full disclosure, when I only watched the first trailer and then I didn't watch any, so I went in as blind as possible. I had no idea that
Gore.
No, not Gore. I'm sorry. Russell Crowe. I did not know Russell Crowe was going to be in the movie.
Me neither.
And so he appears, again, spoilers, he appears as Zeus. And I could not stop laughing. It was just so ludicrous that it was him. And what was also more hilarious was the accent. It was like a Greek accent he was doing. But it was so bad that it was good. Like oh my God, I just could not stop laughing. It was so stupid.
Yeah.
Because I always think like, wow, Russell Crowe, Maximus from Gladiator. And he's Zeus, like just being an absolute idiot. Like it was so funny. And boy,
You were not invited to the orgy.
I was just going to say that they said the word orgy several times in that film.
I can't do his voice. How did he sound? He was like...
I can't do it. It sounded Italian to me.
It was very Italian. He's like, you're not invited... I can't even do it. I sounded Indian there.
But yeah, so that bit for me, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed Thor. There was a scene where he confronts the magnificent Thor,
Mighty Thor.
The Mighty Thor. Thank you. And he goes OP on his outfit just because he's trying to flex super hard to the other Thor about like his uniform. Like I don't know. I love that shit. There was a lot of little moments like that I really liked.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gore, you were gonna make a point about the villain.
Yeah, no, I knew, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Because I knew well before the trailer even that Christian Bale was gonna play Gore. So I knew that Gore was in it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was gonna be that good. He was good. He was
so good.
The savior of that movie, arguably.
Facts, dude. Yeah, facts. Like people were like people out, and self included, like I would have taken so much more of his character because he was legit terrifying, legit very scary. So you think of Christian Bale and like how hard he's a super method actor, right? So he goes all in on the characters he plays, and he did that for this character, and like to get that performance in the MCU, like he's a like top tier villain. Like Thanos was great. Like Josh Brolin as Thanos honestly did a phenomenal job. Like he was menacing in a way that was menacing, but also like. Actually, wow, yeah. There's a subreddit called Thanos Did Nothing Wrong. I might have talked about this already.
I'm not going to get into this.
Yeah.
This was like our first MCU conversation. I remember that at the bar. And I was like, this guy.
Yeah,
fuck with this guy.
This is good.
Continue.
So anyway, talking about villains. Big props to Christian Bale for his portrayal as Gore. Amazing.
Pun intended. They butchered him, bro. He's called Gore the God Butcher. That's why that's funny. That's it. Show's over, guys. That was it. That was our last bit. We're out of here. Bye.
Sorry.
But they did, man. They not butchered, but they, like you said, they didn't use enough of him. And if I'm not wrong, there was supposed to be more. Because like you don't see him actually kill gods. Like you see him kill one, and then you see talks of him killing gods. Yeah. But it's like, bro, show us him killing Zeus or something. Like I don't know.
We could have got more action. Christian Bale, but also that like super Norse scene was super dope. The Norse scene
that looked like Sin City.
Yes!
So fucking good.
Yeah,
good. But it was just like wasted though, because I don't want to give too much because I still want you to watch the movie.
No, dude, please go.
The bad thing that he did was so lame. It was too cartoon villain. Like I'm gonna steal them, you know?
Yeah.
like it's like, bro, you're the God Butcher.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
what are you doing that? Like, and he was in great position to butcher some gods in the scene that he did his bad thing.
Yeah, so dumb. But I'm with you. Go ahead.
I'm just thinking of what they should have written. He had that guy's son. I'm saying that guy on purpose. I know you know what I'm talking about, right? The eyes. They had that guy's son. That is a god. It would have been cool if either now I'm going too deep into it. Like I'm actually trying to write a plot. But like, you know, what if that's because that is dastardly, stealing the child of a god.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's the guy he kills.
Okay, I get.
You know what I mean?
Okay, that would have been a good plot.
And then you could see him in Valhalla when this person shows up in Valhalla. Isn't that so cool? Like,
I love Eddie. You're like balls deep in this in the way that I appreciate so much. You really are, and I love it. I love it. I hope that the one guy out there is following along, but I'm with you. I'm fully with you. Heimdall, the guy with the eyes. I got you. Yeah, that's a good subplot. I would have been down for that.
Because that's more dastardly, you know. Sorry.
Are these movies considered action movies? Can you guys consider these action movies? What are they considered?
The MCU movies are their own thing at this point. In fact, they're so good that regular cinema is like, the fuck, guys. We're over here making art, and they're over here making this popcorn,
right?
Basically, which
Martin Scorsese.
I get it.
Yes.
What was a movie that I watched recently that was? I watched The Talented Mr. Ripley for the first time recently.
Never seen that.
I haven't seen it either.
Okay,
is that
guys.
with Leo?
It is with a young Matt Damon.
That's who it is, Damon.
The acting chops? Oh, yeah. He's like, oh, you remember me? Yeah, Matt Damon. But like before he knew he was Matt Damon. It was legit really good. Anyway, just whatever. Like I appreciate good acting in movies. Like I'm not like a cinema tryhard, but like, yo, Marvel does what they are good at what they do. And right now the whole Phase 4 thing is like,
not good.
They're building, right? They're building. So we have to like just deal with all this new stuff that they're trying to give us because that's the problem that comics have, right? It's like, okay, well, we told you this one awesome story, but this is a world. So now we're telling you multiple different stories in this giant, like comic books are insane. Like we're just getting a microcosm of comic books because the comic book people are crazy.
Yes.
All the way in there.
What I like to get at is when I think of action movies, when it comes to a good plot, I understand, but if you don't have good fight scenes with a good villain, movies usually, to me, are not that good. For example, when it comes to action movies, one of my favorite ones is Jason Bourne.
Great movie.
The first one.
It's a good one. Yeah, I think that's the best
Born
one.
Identity.
Yeah, this is more the Bourne Identity. The first time I saw that movie, it was action from the beginning, and there was a lot of fight scenes that were really cool. Not fake looking fight scenes like these. I forgot the name of that fighting style, but there's a name for it. Like whatever it's called.
Krav Maga?
Yeah, Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
Yes,
It's
that.
Israeli.
Right, so it was like a very different fighting style, but it looked very cool. But again, a lot of cool fight scenes, and that's really because they had a good plot. But the main reason why I like that movie is because of the fight scenes.
That's cool.
Same thing with The Matrix. Great plot, but the fight scenes, that's what really makes the movie stand out for me. So when it comes to an action movie, if the fight scenes are not there, to me, there's like, it's mid at best. I need to have a good fight action going on, but the character just can't be anybody. It has to be like, oh, this guy came through. Now we're gonna have like an amazing fight. Kind of like anime. Anime with Dragon Ball Z, they always have this insane fight with like this super god and this other god, and that's what makes. You see that episode when they blah 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 and somebody blew this other guy up? You need to have this cool fight scene for me to have a really good action movie. I don't know how you guys feel about fight scenes in action movies. I don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
I like that you're specific. Nah, I'm just pointing at you because I was like, good. Because obviously not any movie needs a fight scene. That'd be hilarious if, like, you know, like 50 First Dates had a fight scene or something, you know. But yeah, no. I think action movies do need either a chase scene or a fight scene. I think a chase scene could be just as good because you can have like exploding cars and like all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like it has to be something that's like high adrenaline. And fighting and running That's adrenaline.
Because I feel like all these Marvel movies, they always have fight scenes in some ways. So they're always fighting somebody. There's always a villain, and so, but the fight scenes are usually crap. Seems like you guys are always, every time you guys talk, well, the last couple movies, they all been mids. Last time it was what, Spider-Man? You were like,
Spider-Man's ass.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, shouldn't this be a way for you to
I don't know
fight
about
somebody?
ass.
No, you like
Bad.
you pretty much like,
ass.
It was like a 5.
but at the same time, wow, yikes. Okay,
Damn.
so the fight scenes. Was there any? What was the good fight scenes in that movie?
Spider-Man or Thor?
Let's go with Spider-Man first. Was there? Because you feel very like yes, and you feel no.
See, man, because like when
There
you
was
say
one
fight
good
scenes,
fight
for me, I think about choreography, right?
Okay.
Like elaborate choreography, like actual fight scenes. And then like MCU is like, well, there's fight scenes and there's choreography, but there's like a lot of pulley work and there's a lot of, well, whatever, that's martial arts, but just the amount of CGI they use for stuff, special effects.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
I'm
like,
cool with that. As long as it looks cool, like if you have like this special power or whatever, and it makes it look cool, I might like it. For example, like The Matrix did a lot of shit that I've never seen before with the fight scenes, and I was like, this is cool, man. So yeah, when the bullets started coming and they're fighting all that, dude, the first time I saw that, I was like, this is incredible. Yeah, so I just like movies that do stuff that they just step out of their boundaries and do cool fight scenes when it comes to those action movies.
I will say, even though they've been mid, there's been some notable fight scenes or showdown scenes. Like the noir scene was fantastic in Thor, like very good. Like I fell asleep a little bit in it, like for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, and I woke up to that scene and I was like, whoa, and I'm glad I did, because it was like, I woke up and I wasn't tired anymore because it was that interesting. Then in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, there was the music scene that they fought. That was
Very
fucking creative and very cool to watch, and very just like, you're just like, oh, what are they gonna do next? And then in Spider-Man No Way Home, there was a scene fought in a different dimension between, a spoiler alert, I guess we've already kind of done it, between, did you see it?
Yeah.
You were with me. You were with us.
Yeah, I was with you.
The scene with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man,
Yeah.
where he ties them up and he does like all the math shit. That shit was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
that was the
Very
best scene
smart.
in the movie.
Yeah, I like when movies use like, the smarts of the villains or whatever to give you something interesting. And I think movies do a good job of that. I have a sidebar comment I want to make. Sidebar real quick, and we'll reel it right back in. The term mid. I just want to make sure that that's a weed term that has transitioned to now describing things in general.
Yes.
And I think that is so great. It's just, we say this word now and it's normal. And I love that. It's so great.
Yes.
That was my sidebar.
I like it.
That was my sidebar.
I like it.
Okay, other thing I wanted to ask you, Eddie, it's related to action movies. Did you watch Top Gun?
No, and I know I should. I hear it's good.
Top Gun.
Okay, hear me out, guys. I have no nostalgia for the original Top Gun whatsoever. Zero. Zero. But I'm a lover of cinema, and people who like movies are like, you gotta go see this movie. I'm like, all right. My wife didn't want to go see this movie. My wife, like, I'm down with Tom Cruise. I'll take a Mission Impossible every year. Give me one. They're very good. They do that very good. So this guy took the Mission Impossible template and applied it to Top Gun. This guy, Tom Cruise, was like, this is classic Tom Cruise. Like, when I think of Tom Cruise, I think of like the most American person that ever was to exist, ever.
Probably is.
There were stories about him not conceding to China in removing the Taiwan flag from his jacket. He was like, nah, I'm going to keep it in the movie. So like, whatever, China, we don't need your money, basically. There was his insistence that it was released as a theatrical debut and not also on streaming platforms. And then like, so we get there and it's like personal message from Tom Cruise. Hi, thanks for coming to watch my movie. Really, whatever. Like, he's super proud of it. You could tell he was super proud of it. I know.
He directed it?
He was super involved in the production. Yeah, super involved. So all that to say is really just the cinematography, what they were able to capture with those jets, dude. It's just to the point, Xander, that you're talking about, the Matrix, where your eyes were seeing something you never seen, or you describing the fight scene in Doctor Strange. You know, Doctor Strange versus, was it Evil Strange? What's the name of that Strange? I'm just curious. I know he's got a.
I thought it was Strange Supreme, but I guess it's not.
Oh man!
And I wish it was, because you know what I'm talking about. Strange Supreme.
From What If?
Yeah. But Dark Strange.
Okay,
I guess. Yeah.
All right. Something that you'd never seen. So like, I feel like that's what Top Gun really gave, was like this really great cinematic experience, but also the plot was like a digestible, not like ass tier movie plot. Like it was actually like, this is like, you feel connected throughout, and it gave you like a nice payoff where it's like, you know how movies just do this bait shit of like, and now there's a sequel. Nah, they gave you a start and a finish, you know, and it was strong all around. So like, man, if you could go watch that thing, go watch it. Seriously, I know I'm like super late to the party on that, but highly entertaining.
How about we do this? We're gonna watch Top Gun with you.
Okay.
And Rick and I have to watch a movie that you picked that we haven't watched, but you watch.
Facts.
Okay.
And we're gonna watch Judgment Night. I'm pretty sure you haven't.
Is it
watched
the
that.
sequel to Judgment Day?
Oh, I wish.
The weekend of 1993. I'm just gonna give you a brief scenario because I thought this was the best shit when it came out. I was very young, obviously. So, guy rented an RV and pick up his friends to go to the Super Bowl. You know, they all take the weekend off. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl in RV. There's traffic, so the guy decides to take this exit to cut traffic. And when he takes this exit, apparently this exit leads you to the most hood area ever. Right off the bat, too, like, exit hood. So as they get off the exit, something happens to the RV where it kind of like breaks down. So as the RV's breaking down, trying to figure out what's going on, a crime is happening that they can see, in which these goons are like, something happens that they kill the person. And they witness this. So what happens is that so as this happened, like the goons turn around and they make eye contact with the guys. And from there it's like, that's where the movie goes.
Man.
And it says, oh man.
Okay.
Is it a
Good
white
synopsis.
guy that gets stuck in the hood, or is it?
No, it's a group of friends.
Oh, okay, so it's not
It's not just one person. It's a group of friends. I believe Cuba Gooding Jr. is in this.
You got Emilio Estevez.
Yes. Yep.
You got a young Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yes.
What?
I don't know who the third guy is, but that's two of the three.
It is. We're gonna watch this movie. Okay.
Wow.
But it's just a very old school, but very intense, over the top, dramatic movie.
Yeah, man. I'll take me some overacting, man.
Yes.
I don't know why sometimes
Yes,
I need it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that sounds like a movie club. We're gonna start a movie club. All right,
Let's do it.
guys. This week, Top Gun though. Now, one thing I did want to call back to. Shout out to Shannon for sending this. This is a callback to earlier where we asked. I dropped the question on Xander, the difference between Hispanic and Latino. So we got some science here.
Ooh.
Hispanic and Latino are often used interchangeably, though they actually mean two different things. Hispanic refers to people who speak Spanish or are descended from Spanish-speaking populations. Apologies. While Latino refers to people who are from or descended from people from Latin America.
Oh,
So
even simpler.
Latin America and then Hispanic. Yeah, I guess that is a great way to think about it,
Yeah.
right? Overseas and...
It's more about your language versus the area you're from, right?
I guess.
From a Spanish-speaking country versus from Latin America.
That's very interesting. Also, I think the term Latinx is really weird. I don't know where that came from, but it's just like Latinx.
Meaning, yeah, it's like genderless Latino people.
You know what? Let's not.
Wait, we got time. We got time. Few minutes here.
Again, we have too many already. Now we're gonna have Latinx,
Latinx.
which means what?
I don't know. Shannon, can we get the science on that? Latinx?
It's genderless Latino people.
Genderless Latino people?
Yeah,
So just like an X as in insert.
It's like they, but Latino.
As opposed to Latino or Latina?
Exactly.
Why? That's a dumb reason. I thought it was a much cooler reason. That's a bad reason to have that.
And I think that's what it is. Yeah, I don't care. Again, like
Sure,
words are just so silly. But I understand what you guys are saying because it's like there's just gonna be another thing after that, and another thing after that.
I think that's what I get annoyed by. That's actually it right there. Yeah,
and it is ridiculous, like more and more. But it's not ridiculous because I'm not a boomer, I'm not a bigot, I'm not any of these things. It's ridiculous because you can just be you. You know what I mean? You could just be you. You don't need all these labels. Like, and I think it's to people's detriment. Like for real, I think like all these like different labels for different sexualities. It's like it's cool. My problem is not your different sexuality. You can like whoever you like. It makes me happy to see people happy. But these labels,
extra shit.
It's extra, bro. It's extra. Like who you like, be who you are, and that's the end of the conversation.
Yeah,
you know,
and that should be it. Like that right there. That's it.
Oh, microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It should be.
This should be it. This should be it.
Yeah, that should be it right there. I mean, as far as like you said, this is what sexuality is, whatever it is, just be that. But don't boom. This is it. This is like, all right, cool. Like I don't understand that part, but again, we're gonna leave that at that.
exactly.
Fair enough. Well, this is probably a good spot to wrap.
Yeah.
Once again, I encourage you, if you haven't already, go out, see Top Gun, support fine cinema. Not for real though, it was a great experience. Thank you for chatting with me about Thor. I love talking about the MCU. I could spend hours. We could really, Eddie and I could do some deep dives on this stuff. It's a little bit crazy, but like, I forget where I read it. It's like everybody's a nerd, right? You said it a couple of pods ago about people who like sports, right?
Just a nerd that likes sports stuff.
Facts. So yeah. Eddie, do you got any upcoming shows that you want to pitch,
Yes.
promote,
Yes.
tell people about?
I have a show July 23rd, which may be, I don't know, in relation to when this is coming
As soon
out.
as possible.
Right.
Hopefully before, but also it was a great show.
Yeah, even if it happens after,
Yeah.
if this happens after.
It's both.
Yeah, July 23rd, I have a show in Northampton at Bishop's Lounge with Max Spear, who is literally my favorite artist alive. Obviously, Prince is my favorite artist
the
of all
Lemon
time.
Street Band folks?
They are, yeah.
Okay.
They're the lead singer of Lemon Street Band.
Yeah. She's a vibe, dude.
Yeah. I love Mac.
Or they is a vibe.
It's they. It's cool. It's cool. You didn't know. Yeah.
Just while we're at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For real.
They are my favorite artists, and we have a song together that we're gonna perform for the first time.
Nice.
First time anybody's gonna hear it.
Powerful.
Yeah, so I'm
Sounds
super excited.
amazing. Sounds amazing. Awesome, man. Well, guys, thank you as always for checking us out. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate the love and the support. Hope everybody has a great night
Love y'all.
or day.